a drink, and maybe even a tissue, because this FAFO moment is chef's kiss poetic. You remember that Latina woman who went viral for singing, with full lungs and zero irony, "I will vote for Donald Trump"? Well, she's back in the news, but this time she's not singing, she's crying. Because ICE just arrested her husband and he's about to be deported.
This is her now.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
You heard that right, guys. Janet Correa, the famous Trump singing lady, has had her husband detained by ICE. And not only that, but he got put on expedited removal. They want him out of the US. They don't want him. But of course, we've been telling them this all along. They don't want you, bro.
Activist Helen Villalonga begged for compassion.
¿Qué le hicimos, Donald Trump?
What did we do to you, Donald Trump, to deserve this?
Ya no la pensé. I will vote for Donald Trump.
I got deported because I voted for Donald Trump. Now everybody's getting deported because they voted for Donald Trump.
The same administration she was hyping up, the same guy she gave her vocal cords to, just ripped her family apart without blinking. And now she's all over social media crying tears of regret. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's the political version of stepping on a rake after telling everyone how great rakes are.
Sorry, but I'm not sorry. So, you mean to tell me that the women who helped rally so many of those Cuban-American votes, so many of those Latino votes, singing that song, the I will vote Donald Trump, you mean to tell me that her husband was detained by ICE immediately after not receiving or not getting approval after his immigration meeting? They were waiting for him right outside of the office. They detained him right as soon as he exited the office. And they placed him on expedited removal from the United States. What a betrayal. If only there was a group of people that was trying to tell you guys not to do that. If only there was a group of people trying to tell you guys not to vote for that man. But you didn't care. Instead, you went and campaigned for that man. I will vote Donald Trump. You sang that song proudly with your entire chest. And now, it's not even just her husband, y'all. They saying that it's other family members that have gotten detained. They are literally ripping her family apart, member by member, literally. And the fact that they're not even giving you any time to be able to say your goodbyes, they immediately detained him as soon as he walked out of that meeting. As soon as he did not receive approval for his immigration status, they immediately detained him.
Here's the thing. We warned folks like her, loudly, repeatedly, exhaustively. We said, Trump doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your story, your work ethic, your American dream. He wants your vote. And after that, you're just collateral damage. But they didn't listen. They kept dancing at his rallies, waving Latinos for Trump signs like they were front row at a Bad Bunny concert. They organized campaigns in their communities. They told their tias and cousins and barbers and abuelas to vote red. And now,
how are you guys handling this? Because I can't. Like, they are hunting us down like animals.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you don't listen to black women or people of color to say, don't vote for this man. Just because you look like his skin color, do not vote for this man. And here we are. Yeah, they're hunting all of us down like animals because that's what they see us as, is animals. And you want to come on here crying and complaining. That's the problem. Is everyone who was light-skinned Latino or whatever the case may be thought that y'all would get a free pass just because you guys were light-skinned enough. But y'all definitely weren't white-skinned enough, and that's the problem. You really thought they had your best interests at heart, and they're not. And it's embarrassing that this country is literally building itself on literally racism. That's what this country is now. It's no longer home of the free, land of the brave. It's land of the racists and land of the white hooded people who want to go ahead and control every goddamn thing. Literally, that's all it is. So don't jump on here crying and complaining, saying, are you guys okay with this? Of course we're not fucking okay with it. But this is the consequences of your guys' actions, and it's fucking disappointing. Because every goddamn time, it never fails. The people that are light-skinned enough always think they're white-skinned enough to go ahead and pass. And the people that are pissed off when they read this video and be like, what do you mean white? The people who are white already know that I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the racist in this goddamn country.
Reality just slapped her across the face like a telenovela plot twist. And let's not pretend this is surprising. From day one, Trump's entire platform has been built on vilifying immigrants. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. Remember that? That wasn't hidden in the fine print. That was the opening speech. The red flags weren't subtle. They were practically glowing in neon. And yet, there's always this handful of people who think, he's not talking about me. I'm one of the good immigrants. Honey, no. That's not how this works. You don't get a loyalty discount in a system built to exclude you. You can sing for the cameras, donate to the campaign, and plaster your front yard with MAGA signs, but ICE isn't checking your voting history when they show up. They're checking a status. And under Trump, that status became dangerously fragile.
And so Latinos who voted for Trump because you have papers and you're safe and you're okay and you're good, let's not forget that the only reason that you have those papers is because at some point, someone in your bloodline came to this country illegally and got them.
That's unfair. This is unfair. I'm so sorry I can't touch you.
Let me ask
I don't
you.
know how I'm going to say that to my mom. My mom has a hard time.
Yudelka Mejia cannot believe she's going back home without her nephew, 29-year-old Yasael Almonte Mejia. Like many other immigrants, when their case is dismissed, they are detained at the hallway.
Let's be real. Trump's ICE isn't just tough on crime. It is relentless. It is aggressive and has become a weapon. People who have lived here for decades, raising families, paying taxes, staying out of trouble, are suddenly considered fair game. No warning, no leeway, no humanity. You were late on one court date 10 years ago. Target. Your green card renewal is still pending. Target. You overstayed a visa after high school. Target. And now this woman who used her talent and platform to promote the very guy who escalated all of this is stunned that her husband is now a victim. It's like setting your own house on fire and asking why it's getting smoky. Look, I do feel bad for her. I genuinely do. No one deserves to have their family torn apart. But sympathy doesn't cancel accountability, because when you publicly back someone who proudly tears communities apart, you don't get to act shocked when it's your community next. And this isn't a one-off, this is a pattern. Every election cycle, there's a small group of folks from marginalized communities who think they've cracked the code. They think if they stand close enough to power, if they smile wide enough, campaign hard enough, they'll be spared. But here's the truth. Authoritarian systems don't reward loyalty. They exploit it. And once they've squeezed all the usefulness out of you, they toss you aside. That's not an opinion, that's history. What's wild is that this isn't even the first time we've seen it. There have been black Trump supporters who ended up getting harassed by other Trump fans. There have been immigrants who voted for him and then got deported. It keeps happening. But the message never seems to land until it's personal. And at that point, it's too late. So where do we go from here? Will this be a wake-up call for others? Or will the next election give us another Latina remix of I will vote for Trump, followed by another teary-eyed live stream? Honestly, I don't know. But I do know this. You can't vote for someone who builds cages and then cry when your family gets locked in one. You can't champion a man who calls your people invaders and then be stunned when the invasion narrative turns into handcuffs and deportation flights. It's not enough to mean well. You have to vote well.